Hello, my name is Francis Fox, and I'm a government trained remote viewer, also trained in interspecies communication, which has to do with talking, communicating with other species. Aliens? So disappointing. I used that statement hundreds of times in 30 years. Not a single person has asked me, what does that mean? They also don't say, oh, you're a pet psychic. What does that mean? That mind control is really important. It's like, whoop, that information is not allowed to spread. And people have learned how to block movement of images, words, information. You need to know more about that. But my intention in this incarnation is to teach you what I have learned through a very difficult path. I don't want you to have to go through that. I don't want anybody to have to go through that. So, what I teach is, looking back, a combination of Tantric Buddhism and shamanism. Excuse me one second because the light above makes this move more. Okay, there, that should be better. I think it is better. This particular chat I am dedicating to my handler, I think around 20 years. No wonder I have very few memories of the last 20 years. Rene de Villegas. He is Cuban. He already landed in jail because he and his group went to an island in the Caribbean and they basically raped the island. The same thing they have done in Venezuela, but there's so much there in Venezuela that it's not noticeable. But in this particular island, they gave a contract, they knocked out everybody else, they got the contract, they didn't do anything, they stole the money, and they got caught. The people on the island were upset. It's a poor island. That's on the internet, if the intelligence community has not taken it down. This is not a nice man. He was also out of his group. One of them was a relative of his. I don't know, brother, cousin, I don't know. Everybody else ended up in jail, and he didn't. Wonder why that was. That was many years ago. But he'll sell off his most loved ones to take care of himself. So I have said this before. I said it yesterday openly in the chat. I was given permission by my masters to say this. And I'm sure the world is shaking, the world in South Florida. Actually, before I started this chat, I'm teaching you shamanism. The birds were screeching outside. And I already have known for 20 years that when the birds start to screech, they're letting me know that somebody's doing black magic. When I check, it's his family, Rene de Villegas, his family that is doing black magic to see how they can do damage control. There is no damage control. We're in biblical revelations. There is no damage control. There is working with the energies. Now, what comes after that, these revelations, is the golden age. Once you can integrate your light and your dark, you don't try to kill your dark or walk away from it. You don't try to kill the light. You try to merge with it. And I have a proposal for that. Rene de Villegas family, I want your father's property. I want Rene de Villegas property. It's a nice property, centrally located. It's big. But the reason I want it, is this a joke or not a joke? I don't know. Is because he did so much black magic there that it's a portal. And his intentions were not good. Superficially, his intentions weren't good. So it's a bad portal. And my group discovered it several years ago. And we named it the Miami Portal. So his property is a portal in Miami, and which we have worked to shift the intentions of that portal. We achieved it several times. I have no idea where it is. I've been too busy into survival. I want that property. Or I want it to go to somebody who knows how to handle something like that and will not use that portal for bad things. I'm not sure we can close it. So it's really maybe a bottomless pit for people who live near it. I want that property. Or I want it to go to somebody that will take care of it. As I said, when there's the indigenous, their people die, there are people that are there full time praying. And they also don't build there. So are you going to make me happy, Rene de Villegas and his family, if you give me that property? You can't stop a train. And I'm not talking that I'm a train. Revelations is a train. You can't stop a train. But I think a lot of people will view you more favorably. Anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. Somebody needs that property. It's prepared. Oh, I need to check that property now with the thing with the hurricanes. Um, I woke up this morning with the words of a very old song from a group called the Angels. Trump is angelic. I have other people around me that are angelic. And the words of let me see if I can find it quickly. The words of the song, which is called My Boyfriend's Back, you're going to be in trouble. These are the words of the song. He went away and you hung around and bothered me every night. And a lot of the work that I did with Rene, because I was his robot, was at night. And when I couldn't go out with you, you said things that weren't nice. Now my boyfriend's back and you're going to be in trouble. My boyfriend, Trump, a couple of other people. You see him coming, better cut out on the double. You've been spreading lies that I was untrue. Hey, 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 my boyfriend's back. So look at now, because he's coming after you. He's been gone for such a long time. Da, da, da. Now he's back and things will be fine. You're going to be sorry you were ever born, because he's kind of big and he's awfully strong. You're a big man now, but he'll cut you down to size. Wait and see. My boyfriend's back and he's going to save my reputation. If I were you, I would take a permanent reputation. I have to tell you that I have laughed so much when I looked up the words to the song. It is so perfect for what's going on with me and Rene de Villegas. Now, who's the angel? I have a couple of them in my life. Some on the sidelines, not moving forward yet. I have Trump. He's an angel in a lot of our lives, and he is consciousness wise angelic. And you know what? You've been spreading lies about me. You told Rene, you told my kids that my problem, that I was bothering your daughter, was because I wanted you and I was stalking you. I think my kids believed it. Well, I don't think they believed that I was stalking you because they know me, but I think maybe they thought maybe I was having a secret affair. Da 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 da. And your daughter went after me and scared my kids with a potential lawsuit. I went to that daughter twice. Okay, we're not going to get boring here and repeat. Rene, you have a daughter, you have two sons. The two sons are in construction in Miami. Oh my God, we're going to go down in the history books. All of you people, cousins, friends, you're the people you control in the intelligence community. All of those people, you need to back off. It's over. You lost. You lost me. I'm not an asset for you anymore. I'm not your robot. I'm not an animal. But I have family. I have kids. I have grandkids. It doesn't matter if they don't speak to me because they don't. It doesn't matter. I'm still taking care of them. I'm talking from last night. Well, forever, but I'm talking from last night. So if you have a plan to go after my kids, okay, my grandkids, making them uncomfortable where they are, trying to make sure that Miami still is your territory in the legal field and in construction and in anything else you wanted until now, you know what? you might want to lower your head and start packing your bags or sleep in the maid's quarters because you all have maid's quarters because you're all very wealthy. Why don't you do that? Don't even think about it. By the way, this government under Trump, they no dummy anymore. They're not asleep. They know about mind control. Not enough yet. Got to get them up to par there. But they know all about the black magic, all about the Santeria, all about the covens. So you go to your coven and you ask them to help you to take me and my family down. It's just going to make you go down quicker. Okay? My boyfriend's back. And he's going to take care of my reputation. So, I'm going to go into some good stuff. The reason why I was born. And that is bringing extra information to the table. So yesterday I had a class. And guess what? You know, I had my something on the coccyx on Facebook. They didn't like the word coccyx. No. Turns out that the coccyx is your connection to the underworld. It's that place in between dimensions. And it's where magic is created. I didn't know that. Okay, so I'm doing a purification of people's coccyx, and it turns out that the gnomes, which are the spirit guides attached to that part of you. So you have spirit guides. Don't ask, do I have spirit guides? Yes, you do. And some of them are attached to your coccyx, even if it's deviated. And they told me that the issue with the coccyx is it holds a lot of trauma. There's a lot of black stuff stuck to it. So you have to work on your traumas, purification, which is what I've always focused on. And sometimes I thought maybe I should focus more on creating and not on purifying. But no, I was right. So then the gnomes, I could give you this information in a way that would be easier for you to take in. So I'm going to switch now. So we discovered that the tip of your coccyx has a frequency. And that frequency, when you are not burdened with traumas that you haven't purified your reaction to, that frequency is 988 hertz. I don't even know if I said that part right. Oh, okay. The third pyramid in Egypt. I don't know what is the third pyramid. The third pyramid in Egypt, the tip of the pyramid, the frequency is 988 hertz. So if you can get your coccyx kind of cleaned up, and that's what we do, it resonates with your coccyx. Now the pyramid has the point that goes up. Your coccyx is a point that goes down. When you get the two together, you get a potential channel. It's two pyramids, but I know that when that resonates, it opens up and it's a channel. Now, they created magic in Egypt. You want magic, which is what I want to teach you, white magic. I learned more from Rene de Villegas than from anybody else on the planet, even more than my control from when I was 12 and 13. I learned the nitty gritty. Oh my God. So we have magic. We're programmed for magic. And the whole thing with frequencies is everything. Whoever said that, darn, are they right? So if you can get your frequency in your coccyx to 988, which means you have to purify, you're going to align with the third pyramid in Egypt. And you're going to align with superpowers and magic. And that is what I am all about. Finding out about magic and then offering an alternative to the dark black magic, which is white magic, which the young kids would call superpowers. I'm dealing with many things at one time. So I was so exhausted in the event. I was like, oh my God, not even one more piece of information. I need to deal with the mundane, the mundane. But no, I love research and we don't really have a lot of time. And with magic, we can do a lot of things, and maybe the entire planet won't be trashed. By the way, there was one other, going back to the Zuckerberg issue, my followers or who I have asked to put comments, take a screenshot, go back later that day, another day, screenshot, the comments are not there. Zuckerberg, they're still taking down the comments. What do you think is going to happen, Zuckerberg? Do you think I'm going to let go of this? A lot of the people in Rene de Villegas' family and community thought that I would be dead by now. The people that stole my inheritance thought I was going to be dead. The people that didn't want to know that my family has royal lineage thought that I would be dead by now. Guess what? Not dead. Here, not leaving because it's getting good now. I laughed so hard this morning when this song came into my head. My boyfriend's back and he's going to take care of my reputation. He's going to go after you. Yeah. And then when I saw that it was sung by a group called the Angels, I went, oh my God, masters with a sense of humor. Because that was given to me by my masters. When you have an idea, it can be your masters talking to you, or it could be a representative of the devil. And there you have the discernment, but also mainly your vibration. So I'm going to talk a second about what spirit guides are and masters, etc. I use them interchangeably. You're going to have spirit guides, spirits at the level of your dysfunction. If you have a lower vibration, if you're carrying a lot of trauma, even if you have a smile on your face, carrying a lot of trauma, da da da. And if when you raise your vibration, such a friend of mine who raised her vibration in one weekend, I did a workshop, she came, she really took it in. She's very bright, she loves information. And then my masters told me that she now had a new set of masters. And when I told her, she cried, but not from joy. She wanted her old masters. I said, I don't know if I can arrange for that because I didn't arrange for the new ones. It was your frequency that decides it. So if you've got spirits attacking you, there is something that you need to deal with that's part of your frequency so that they won't attack you. Now, I'm saying this and I am under massive attacks by spirits. So you go, okay, Francis, when are you going to finish? Well, the day I finish, I'm going to turn away and walk off, leave. While you're still here, you're still accomplishing things and you still have to have some kind of resonance with the rest of the people. But I'm more clean than ever. I can think more clearly than ever. When I start with the compulsive thoughts, which is part of being astrologically Cancer, I substitute them with a mantra. So it's 1,000 times better. And if I hadn't raised my frequency, the intention of my enemies would have definitely taken down. Now, let me say something here, and I'm not sure that this is the place to say it, or if it was earlier, but not because it's anything bad. This group of people that handled me, because you have a handler, but then they have a whole group of people, and he handled several people. From what I understand, he was paid a ton of money by the FBI to do this trashing and gang stalking and sexual abusing and revenge porn. Do you call it revenge porn when the person doesn't agree with it to start out with? I don't know. Blackmailing. That's the word. You know what? I went off too much of a tangent. So when I don't know what year, but I should look up the file. I remember once, 34 years ago, I don't know what the situation was. And I went, why am I not paid? I guess something was being set up and I was part of it. And they said, you're a robot. Robots don't get paid. I think, not because of that comment, but because of the way I was treated, there's a part of me that always felt like I wasn't a person, I wasn't human. And in the 90s, I started a file for myself, what it meant to be human. Because I wanted to see if maybe I wasn't human. I'm not talking, oh, you're from another planet. I mean, not human. So really a sorry situation. That's ending now. But it's not just going to end for me. It's going to end for everybody. It's going to end for everybody. They're not going to be able to keep this going because we're in Revelations. Not because there's an angel called Trump. Not because of all the information I've been willing to give out. Not because I trash my life in terms of my family in order to be able to share this because everybody needs to have it. Because if not, nobody's going to be safe. particularly in places like Miami. There's a couple of other cities. Okay, I'm not going to name it because this podcast chat is not about taking people down. There's a couple of people on X that they love it when they find they can take somebody down. That being said, let me say now, I have been telling my followers, the Mantrista movement, for the 7 or 8 years that we've been working together, that if there's anybody that we should be grateful for everything that we have learned about magic, it's Rene de Villegas. So when we come all the way to the end of this spectrum of life on planet Earth and learning what you have to learn, the division between light and dark, male and female, a person that's going to be held in very high regard, having to do with liberating the planet from darkness, is Rene de Villegas. That being said, I can't be good for too long. Good in terms of, Mom, what are you doing? It's my daughter. Rene de Villegas' specialist was Egyptian magic. Rene de Villegas came to Miami from New Jersey. Now, who do we know associated with New Jersey and Egypt? The guy that's in jail, Menendez. Could there be a connection there? I don't know. Why don't you start checking? He's already in jail, but there's a lot of other people. And also, it's not just a question of him being in jail. What about the people? Let's say he's part of this mind control stuff. What about the people that he controlled? Their families, their kids. It's really not about that particular person. It's about the dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of people that they have taken away their free will. Number one law on the planet from God, free will. You're not supposed to interfere in free will. You're supposed to allow people to do anything, including bad things. It's not just don't judge them. Don't get in their way. They're doing it for a reason. So I have a petition. I'm not going to petition anything from you, Trump, because you just need a star. Okay? You need to be writing on a star. Take a separate path from Kennedy that I said we should throw rose petals in his path. I don't think that's what you want. Definitely, what is it? The world peace, what is it? The peace you recommended for? Obviously, there's got to be something higher than that because this is not just political. And the whole thing with that peace prize that you're being considered for has to do with a lot of life on the physical dimension. This, what you've done, Trump, goes beyond that. So we got to come up with something, a name, a classification, a title that will irritate a lot of people, I'm sure, because it goes beyond that. And I don't have any requests. I think you need to rest and enjoy what you accomplished yesterday. But Elon, I do have a request. This thing with the coccyx being connected to the tip of the pyramid in Egypt. I'm not so interested in the pyramids in Egypt. There's been so much work done there and it's too far away anyway, and I don't like to travel. But there are some pyramids that the Mayans built. Now, the Egyptians did not end well. The Mayans did. They're the only group on the planet that transitioned golden age, ascension, gracefully, which is one of the main mantras my group, the Mantristas, we used to do. Please God help us with our intention to ascend gracefully, like the Mayans. Okay, so you're going to buy a TV station, or at least that's been said a lot. I want funding, documentary, support to go with some very powerful people to those pyramids. And I think I would also like this Graham the guy that has the documentaries on ancient apocalypse, and go there. He's more scientist. I do the other dimensions with other remote viewers and with an intention to bring home to human beings information that is there, connecting the dots, the connecting of the coccyx frequency, the tip of the coccyx frequency with the pyramid is connecting the dots. And that's what we're supposed to be doing now. I would love to do that. Now, could I afford to do that trip on my own with a group of people? Yes. I'm not poor, but it would have limited visibility. Oh my God. Next subject, limited visibility. I am shocked at the ability to put veils up to where people don't see things. And that all started with this statue of St. Teresa de Avila, several hundred years old, where she's in spiritual ecstasy and you look at her face and you go, that's an orgasm. Except everybody looked at her face and they never saw that until I pointed it out, which I guess is pulling the veil off. And everybody went, oh my God, St. Teresa. And then her autobiography, the words are orgasm. And everybody read them, and that's spiritual ecstasy. And then I say, that's orgasm. And they go, oh my God. That's what I would like to do with the issue that everybody has something with the pyramids. It's too fascinating. A lot of secrets, and we can reveal them really quick. If we get them up on TV and a documentary, we're going to be helping a lot of people. First place, they're going to start taking care of their coccyx, and the coccyx has everything also to do with your prosperity, security, grounding. And in the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic, it doesn't say, deliver us from evil, which means, God, please protect us. It doesn't say that. It says, help us to be grounded, which means being in the present, which is what Eric Tolle, that's what he teaches. And he's right. Okay? So we're not just about revelations of bad people who in the end are going to be honored. I'm talking about, in terms of Rene de Villegas, his family, his co-workers, his business partners, everybody that he works in and works on and is in control of. I'm telling you, when I decide I want to do something, I have an ability to get it done. If there is anything, including a comment, a frown, anything to anybody related to me, my kids, my grandkids, my friends, my ex-friends, my potential friends, I'm not going to let it go. I have tried to be as graceful as possible because I understand the pain of the community that is around where families with or worked with Rene de Villegas. I understand it. I lived it. I understand it. I understand the shame of reputation. I get it. I will have no mercy. So all those little meetings that you're having, they're not going to work. All those people that you're paying for black magic, it's not going to work. And you're going to pay a consequence. Don't make this longer than it needs to be. I don't know who you need to negotiate because in terms of me and my family, the only thing I want from you is Renee's property, or for it to go to somebody who actually understands portals and how that portal can make Miami stronger, because it is a portal that Renee opened. It's the Miami portal. It's his home, which I don't think he's been there for a couple of months because they're looking for him. So back off, stop with your meetings, grab all those little candles and start lighting them, but don't light them to take people down. Light them so that the virgins that you believe in and all those beings that you believe in the Santeria, etc., so that they all help you to get through this part of your life gracefully. And hurting other people and threatening other people is not graceful. And trying to get your contacts in Washington and in the military base in the South is not going to help you because it's going to be tracked. So just back off. And I wish I could put on this song, My Boyfriend's Back. What is the rest? What's it? And he has a reputation. Yes, Trump has a reputation. Now, is he my boyfriend? No, I've never talked to him. I would be too afraid of Melania. She's a Taurus. Do not mess with a Taurus and their people, their mates, their kids. Don't mess with them. You have to move off the planet. You can't even go to Mars. You have to go to another galaxy. So, no, Melania, Trump is not my boyfriend. See how important astrology is? If you're going to reach out for somebody, maybe you shouldn't be. What can the consequences be? Who's around them? Because a Taurus will never forget. Never, never, never forget. So, I don't know why I want to say this. You know that woman who said that Trump had assaulted her in I think a dressing room in a major store? She didn't even know the date. You really need to do your homework, Missy. That was a business deal, and it wasn't with Trump. That was a business deal for you. That was business, money, exchange. But you should have done your homework, Missy. Trump is a gentleman to start out with. It's just not the style, generally, to do something like that. And he is very neat. He doesn't like messes. I think, Missy, you went for the money and you didn't do your homework. So, to Rene de Villegas and his family and friends, cohorts, co-conspirators, conspiracy means to breathe together. That's the definition of the word. All the people in the city governments, Coral Gables, Miami, who gave him whatever he wanted because of threats or because of bribes, just back off. Know your people. Cancer, I'm a Cancer astrologically, we don't forget. We don't forgive. And I am telling you, I am very skilled at taking care of what I feel that I can take care of without harming other people. Don't do it. Listen carefully. Don't do it. Just back off. Here, I'm going to give you a mantra. Please, God, help us with our intention that that miraculously, the words I need to change because it needs to feel good in the mouth. Please, God, help us with our intention that we miraculously resolve this gracefully. You can leave off the word graceful at the end, that we miraculously resolve this. No, leave the word graceful because black magic is not graceful. Threats are not graceful. And we have kids at school. You make sure that you don't mess around there either. Bank accounts. I don't think you're going to mess around the bank account. You already know that's too far. Okay, that's it. I didn't do a map. I did one yesterday afternoon. Maybe I'll do one tonight. But it's really we're in a golden age in the United States, believe it or not, with a little bit of stuff dragging behind, such as this. So why should you listen to our podcast? Because we're going to be able to teach you an incredible combination of Tantric Buddhism and shamanism. And your life is going to be not only better, your life is going to be more fun. You're going to meet people and you're going to go, oh, when were you born? And then you're going to go, and then you're going to run across a dead bird in your driveway. Well, you can go ahead and get in your car and go to work. But when you get to work or where you're going, you go ahead and what's the bird? Take a picture. What's the bird? Okay. What does it symbolize? What is the message? You're going to start having fun. Really. Honestly. Get yourself the book, Animals Speak by Ted Andrew. He passed. Get yourself that book, Animals Speak, and have it by your side or look it up on the internet. I like the book better, but I'm older. And you look it up and it's going to be incredible. Okay. You're going to have a lot more fun, now we're in cleanup. We're in cleanup. Literally, we're in cleanup. Revelations, now we're cleanup. And then we get together, the light and the dark. I'm telling you that at the end of all of this, a person that's going to be remembered as having helped get us into the golden age was Rene de Villegas. At the end, we're not there yet. Okay, for now, let's lock it all down. Thank you for joining me. I'm Frances Fox.